post? I'm not really checking it.
I'm waiting.
Just post it. We are live. Like
Let's
people can
Okay.
join.
see. We should be live now. Just waiting
Okay,
to see
posting
if
it.
things are showing up here. Perfect. And of course, afterwards too. Obviously, it'll all be recorded, be on the channel and stuff too. So, everybody be able to review it later as well if people are at work or anything like that. And keep that one up. So, jumping on here, basically, you know what? Before we, I guess, jump into the good questions that I want to know, in case anybody's kind of new to MetaFlora, hasn't seen, some of my intro videos or anything else, can you go ahead and kind of give like a rundown to all the folks on basically what MetaFlora is?
Yeah, so MetaFlora is a track and trace online database, decentralized database. Uh, we have some exciting news that we're about to unveil to you guys about the foundation of everything here. So what we're looking at doing is onboarding all these genetic representations of all the strains that are out there right now, and attaching these test results to it. We have a built-in AI that goes through all these different aspects of the strains, and we can get to pinpointing different data points. Furthermore, it's a historical database. So as we incorporate the blockchain into these genetics, we're looking at creating new forms of ownership, creating family trees out of this. One of the best ways to put it, is when Strawberry Cough came out, it was created by Kyle Cushman, but this strain got replicated between many different companies. And Strawberry Cough is always a go-to for a lot of connoisseurs out there. So what the database will be able to do on the blockchain is track it down to its original owner, show that supply chain going into other retail environments, other cultivation environments, and being attached to these test results and crop steering techniques. So how this really benefits everybody is, if you're looking for that specific strain that fits your environment, you'll be able to rightfully find it without any doubt, especially not just commercial cultivators, but home growers as well, because the home growers are the connoisseur. There is no room for error for them when they want to grow their favorite strain. But also in the commercial environment where you're investing large amounts of money in order to fulfill cultivation needs, not just money, but time. And so an accuracy through this type of environment is absolutely essential. So what MetaFlora is doing is we're pinpointing all the problem areas in the industry, and we're providing the solution for it, which is blockchain, right? So we have a superior product in front of us. We have a superior technology in front of us. This stuff is being done in Web 2, but not with the transparency and validity that we can accomplish using the blockchain.
Yeah, and I noticed, on some of your tweets or posts and stuff too, that you guys have been going around like some of the different like conferences, groups. Looks like you guys have been presenting at a lot of different places. How's that all been going? How's like the reception been? Partnerships, just discussing, talking with other groups and folks and fans.
Yeah, we're living in an exciting time for crypto right now, aren't we? Like the conversations are always opening up as like, wow, this is like a huge solution to a problem in the industry. And I always told them, like 5 years ago, I'm wondering if I'm going to be having the same conversation as we are now, with the banking industries opening up, governments actually writing the specific laws in here. We're moving out of that gray area. So it's really all eyes on blockchain right now. And we are the pioneers in this industry. I'll tell you that much. We've been very well accepted on the higher up levels, also through different cultivations, pretty much every aspect of the supply chain. A lot of people said, well, maybe I don't apply to this at all. I'm like, are you a part of the creation of cannabis at all? Like any part of the supply chain or manufacturing equipment? Are you producing case studies? Are you producing any sort of individual data points? then you are a part of this industry, and every single point along this way is extremely important. So we don't want to leave anybody out, and because it would leave holes in our system, right? So yeah, for those reasons, I would say that everything's being extremely well accepted. Everybody wants to know more. And yeah, we've been having a great time. Mary Jane Berlin, if you read anything online about it, it was the largest showing in Europe yet. Europe is really, really taking off right now. There's this industry is about to explode out here, and we're going to meet the demand out in the United States as well. So as crypto is moving forward, so is this industry. And a lot of people are talking, like I was shaking a lot of hands with people from South Africa, and what everybody's doing here is we're looking for this global integration. We're looking for this global workforce of being able to import and export and making these connections now. And what MetaFlora does is connect all these dots, right? If especially with these new emerging areas of the world that have a foundation in the land race strains, so it's already embedded in their culture. But as we're looking at the innovations that, let's say, California has, or Spain, and we're looking at taking all those famous strains and bringing them all across the world. Now, how do you know what you're going to get? Where's the best climate to grow these specific strains at? And we solve all these problems, and everybody has recognized this along the way.
Yeah, and I think you guys have I think you have a massive market and a massive job to do. You know, some of the different aspects that you've talked about. One of the things that you were talking about fixing, right, was I don't know if it was going to be like a QR code that's as simple as that's on packaging to be able to be verifiable. You know, like you know what strain this is, and I think that's a superb kind of way to go about things. Really giving people kind of peace of mind as well.
Yeah, we did a demo at Mary Jane Berlin, passed out over 400 pre-rolls at the event, everything with a QR code linked to a testnet smart contract. And I was blowing people away, people within crypto and non-crypto. That was the interesting part about that event specifically, was, you know, not everybody was on the investment level. We're looking at consumers as well, right? Stopping by the booth, wanting to know more about what we were doing. And people were just kind of blown away at the way that we can organize all this information that we already had and create a valid form of it all.
Right. And I think too, if you guys really get this, you know, nailed down, get just everything flowing really well, you know, with this side, I think you guys just have so much potential to go further, you know, whether that's with, you know, just farms, agriculture, whether that's, you know, I was thinking about like peppers, you know, and how like, you know, there's Reaper peppers and ghost peppers, and everybody's always trying to make, you know, different products, and you can really spread it across, you know, the world too. You know, mushrooms. I know Tripto, me and you talked about mushrooms too, just because from my side, medical side, mushrooms are being used a lot right now and studied tremendously, especially in the VA system with PTSD and, you know, previous military folks. And just thinking about the ability and what MetaFlora can bring to some of that validity and, you know, confirmation of the product and not losing the product, right? Because I know that's happened a lot, you know, in the marijuana side as well, of losing some of these, you know, past products that might have worked really well for somebody from a medicinal standpoint as well.
Right, the historical database is what's going to really stand out, right? We're looking at the innovation going so quickly, and you're right. The mushroom industry is going to be the same exact way, because once you give the freedom to do this research and development and these different studies attached to it, like we saw what happened to the cannabis industry. We didn't have cannabis extracted into white powder like 20 years ago, you know, and like you give this type of thing to a scientist or many people in a laboratory that are able to manipulate it using their machinery, and all of a sudden we just start the industry just starts taking off, and everybody's going further and further and further into this. And that, I mean, that's the true value to a historical database in general, I would say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how blockchain destroys this world too, in the sense that, right, we have banks, right, private stuff can't see it, right, and bringing blockchain into everything. Same thing with pharmaceutical companies. We all know how much tremendous money is behind them, right, and this doesn't seem like something, at least up front to them, would benefit them, right? People being able to have that access, have that information, and all these scientists being able to, assess everything and really make better and better products. There's so much, like trademarking kind of things, behind the scenes. So I think it's a big plus, and I think it's going to happen no matter what. They can try to delay things, but I think that's where we're going to kind of progress with everything.
Yeah, so at Cannabis Europa in London, there was a very large pharmaceutical presence there, and what these are laboratories. They're people that are doing studies on the use of cannabis. Really big things like you know um, things that like other medicines aren't working for, right? And when we start applying cannabis to it, and they're tracking the results from it, it's not that the pharmaceutical industry is better, but they're looking at it now as is this a better treatment altogether? And so with that type of information from these sorts of companies, they're changing the laws as we speak. Every report that comes out, every piece of data that they can pin together with some of these things, they're the legislators are reading this and saying, okay, is this undeniable truth? All right, it's time to change the mindset of how we look at these sort of things.
Right.
So in aspect there, we think about the the pharmaceutical industry with their patented ideas and things like this, but it goes even more. There's more depth to it than that as well, and we should also look at that industry as as a bunch of bright individuals that are actually pushing our industry forward in areas of the world that aren't listening to the rest of us. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I want to go a little bit about your background, Crypto. Like, how long you've been in this kind of business, working with this, and then where are you going? What are your plans with kind of the MetaFlora HQ, which I believe you guys just kind of broke ground on recently?
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for a very long time here. What we're looking to do is open up this 117 acres in California. It is going to require a 19,000 square foot commercial footprint, and that's just the initial push. We're talking 2 cannabis cultivation licenses, greenhouses, and outdoor, a licensed nursery, and a distribution. So now that the laws are changing in countywide and statewide, there is an option to go into this micro business atmosphere. So once we get into there, we're looking at a farm to fork environment with on-site retail, direct to consumer. We would be craft cannabis, right? So we would fall under this type of law that we would be looking at mail order domestically as well. And I believe that once we get these domestic approvals, we're also looking at international relations as well. Um, so on top of that, what's even more exciting than tours through the garden, everything that encompasses these companies that are acting on these grounds, we're looking at research and development. We're looking at every single piece of the strain data going onto MetaFlora's platform. We're looking into the research and development, which means that we can decentralize the research and development to the home growers at home. You can get these licensed or these verified genetics from us, select the best phenotypes. We can do a decentralized pheno hunt. We're going to open this up to other companies as well, but we're the flagship. We're a proof of concept nonetheless. And we're so much more than just a cultivation. We're so much more than just a nursery and a pheno hunter. We're a way of life. Cannabis is a lifestyle first. This is another issue that I saw in the industry that I saw was a problem. Just feedback from other people in the industry about not wanting not accepting of where the industry has been going on a recreational standpoint. And there's inspirations that come out of cannabis. The ones that are super involved in it, we're talking about artists, musicians, filmmakers, gamers. All these things are what we are in the end. We're the outdoorsmen. We love hiking. A lot of us like adventure sports as well. And this is really what cannabis is all about. And to have a brand like MetaFlora attached to these types of cultivations, what we're looking to do is house everything inside this Web3 world. And what our headquarters really brings to it is all of this. We're building a music event center. We're building a bud and breakfast where you can go and stay, have verified products. We're looking at a health and wellness retreat where speakers can come. You can have your yoga classes. You can have it paired with these health and wellness products that you can search MetaFlora and see that these are for me, right? Furthermore, it's about fun. We can have these events. We can throw weddings. We can have cannabis cups, all decentralized cannabis cups. There's cups out there that have gotten a bad name where people have said or not that that some of it is paid, and there's a barrier of trust. And I think that the blockchain brings back trust to any sort of naysayers. So imagine being able to attend as a judge and you're holding your tokens and you're going around tasting different products and being able to vote as a person. We can decentralize this all over the world. We can send boxes to your home. The connoisseur box is meant for this specifically, where we can highlight strains and geneticists and companies, brands from all around the world and put them together. We can do it in California. We can do it regionally. And your customers at home, the people who care about your product, about your brand, can utilize MetaFlora into this transparent cannabis cup, and even start choosing the way that their customers are receiving their product and make it better and tailor it to their community. This industry is very big. There's many companies out there, and I believe what we're setting up here is something that everyone will follow suit on, because without the community, you have a detachment. And if you're with the community, then we can pave our way forward into a new era and a new era of innovation.
Yeah. So we know you guys are building on galachain, building your product on the back end there. How's everything been going development wise? Where are you guys kind of at with everything and with the nodes?
Yeah, we're smashing through it. We have a very big update coming along here. Our data points are coming along. We have some new partnerships on even more data and reports that we plan to release. Remember, we're a knowledge hub as well. So all this information, it is the genetic database, but what can we do with it? And how can we integrate AI into this entire structure to make it work for every person who interacts with us?
Yeah. So with the AI, like, are you guys using like a certain kind of AI system? Is this something you guys have just kind of been making to kind of do all the back end genetic stuff?
All right, I'll take this one. All right, so I have a very deep background in AI. People know me on Discord as Gingerbread Man, but this is my real name, Jesse. Nice to meet you. If you haven't met me before. So we actually we've actually already made our first model to just analyze the current data that we have right now and be able to make analytics and stats and create leaderboards for certain statistics based on these strains' performances and their reviews and all the data that we've gathered from them. So for instance, there's a very unflattering, undesigned page on the platform that we've built out now. So I just hid it in the background, but we can run through that quick. We could actually screen share the platform right now if you want me to.
Sure.
All right. Let me set that up.
And then I'm assuming then there's a whole aspect and steps where, you know, you have all the back end info and knowledge, and then it's almost kind of building a page of how to put that knowledge forward to, I guess, the consumer to be able to, you know, get through.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, then the magic happens.
All right. So this is the start. We're just gathering some articles from our Medium, basic layout right now. And the idea is for people to come here. Here, let me make this a little wider. The idea is for people to come here as a replacement for, like, I don't know, there's a Leafly is a platform that I suppose we took inspiration off of. We want people to be able to search strains or articles or any kind of details regarding growing or cultivation, or as a user to be able to use these products and know all of the different effects that you can expect: positive, negative, flavor profiles, you know, diseases that they might treat. And this is all based on public reviews that we've scraped from the internet so far. We have over 4,500 strains, I believe. Yeah, 4,762 strains right now.
Wow. You guys already have that many like plugged in?
Yeah,
and everything?
yeah, that's current. That is current. This is endless scroll. This will just endlessly scroll to the end.
And then when you go into that, I didn't see everything, but when you go into that, how, I guess, would the consumer get to the point of trying to, you know, get a specific strain?
Right. So we are going to be incorporating a marketplace that features the retailers associated with our platform that are partners. We will also have a AI chatbot where you can freeform talk about, like, what kind of ailments you might have, where you live, you know, all these different details, and it'll link it up with the lab reports that have been given to us and the details that we have so far. And also link up with the marketplaces that are maybe in your location if you were to go that route. So from a user perspective, you will be able to purchase products through the website and leave reviews of those products, and that will be considered like a high quality review because it's specific on a lab report batch, a specific batch that was given to us to be tested by our users. So that's a cool aspect, I think.
And for leaving the review, I'm assuming you got to be signed in and have an account to be able to drop a review and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's blocked. It's behind a gateway.
Yeah. That's really incredible. It looks, you guys have done a tremendous amount of work. In the background already. That's super cool. And then what does kind of the red indicator mean? Does that mean a strain that's lost or no longer
so those
produced?
are actually, this is the filler image if we don't have an image for that strain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But we still have details on the strains. We just don't have an image. So if you were, as a reviewer, if you were to or if we were to get a lab report, we would just take the image from the lab report of that specific nugget, and hopefully we can grow our database from there.
That's super cool. And so all this will end up being on basically on the blockchain network right now. I'm assuming it's not set up yet, or how far along are you guys with that?
Let me pull that up right now. So we got Meta. I'm typing in the top if you can't see. So this is our testnet. I recently had to restart it, so there's not that many lab reports that we have uploaded. We have about 6 lab reports currently. As you can see, so Eurofins, that's one of the labs that we work with. And this is all of the details associated with the lab. This is the referred lab report document. It's actually in another language because of where the lab is located. Oh wait, this one's actually not. All right, nice. This one's in English. Yeah, this one's in English. But I do have an AI software to translate on the fly onto the main website.
Nice.
That is here. Oh. So this is the view of the lab reports that we prepared for the event. The events that we went to recently. And this is an example of one of those lab reports. I'll just pull it up. So you can see all the specific information, most common terpenes, and you can derive all of that from this information.
Dang, this is really cool. This is really, really cool. You guys have this set up super nice and everything as well. Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. My computer's slowing down significantly.
Okay, no worries. No, that's really cool to see that progress. Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess this will kind of roll in now with the nodes, and then is it still the OG token that we're utilizing?
Yes. Yes, we are still utilizing the OG token.
Okay. And then, I mean, I had looked through the white paper before. There's a ton of different things you can, utilize the token for. Will other companies be able to kind of utilize that token? I'm not sure what your guys' plans are, with the token, what your biggest kind of utility, I guess focuses are on that.
Yeah, Wookiee. One of the biggest things, a lot of, especially the cultivators and distributors were saying was in Europe, everybody has different currencies. And
Right.
so if they were able to streamline not just like the database, but being able to find these wholesale accounts that have the attached database to it to be able to utilize a universal currency in order to get their transactions flowing. So we'll provide that solution as well.
Awesome. And then I guess how close are we to be able to get or run any kind of nodes or node progresses on galachain? I think we had just turned on the rep nodes just a week or two ago, and they're kind of troubleshooting through some of that.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at what the next, probably within 2 months is would be pretty accurate. You say, Jesse or Michael?
Yeah, interesting enough. I was going to say for Rep and regarding Rep, we've been talking with him about potentially using Rep as like a review service for the strains on the platform, and that could be a really cool utility for the platform to be able to incorporate social media directly in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that Neil is doing over there, and we've been talking very closely to him on how to make an integration between what he's doing and what we're doing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot over there, which I won't spill any beans right now, but I know what you guys are working on with him as well, and I think it'll be pretty cool. Cool to see unravel. Yeah, I just dropped that on the audience, the community. They'll just have to wait here, but yeah, I'm excited to see how that rolls out and see how that all will play on everything. I think the potential here is massive, for sure.
Yeah, very cool people over there.
So I was pulling up a couple things, trying to remember some of the different aspects here. Are you guys still using Chainlink as a security aspect?
Yes, that is the we are. Jesse actually had some recent involvement utilizing Chainlink on another project hackathon as well. So he's got a lot of in-depth knowledge of how we're going to incorporate that with the inner workings that we're unfolding along the way here. I think that there's a few things that we won't be talking about today, but it'll be a necessity along the lines.
And then right now, I know we just have the MetaFlora nodes. What is, I guess, the difference between or have you guys considered like the home grower nodes and kind of how that's gonna like work? And I guess what the biggest benefits for any home growers are going to be utilizing MetaFlora?
Yeah, we're looking at tokenomic distribution here, different workloads that go onto the system, and so we're pretty much separating the workloads of MetaFlora through these different node networks that will highlight the strain's progress from consumer or growing aspects.
Yeah, and we also are in contact with a few. I think there's 2 partners that Greg met that would potentially open up our community to having like a at-home device for testing your own batches at home.
Yeah, we're looking into this sort of thing as well. There's there's a commercial level, and then there's a little bit more affordable homegrown network type of thing, which will be, we're talking about MetaFlora branded hardware.
And then how far out are you guys, unless you're already doing it, to having some of these like connoisseur boxes and stuff?
That's the big question, right, boys? So I'm saying that we wanted to hit it a little bit sooner, but I think that it's most important for our database to be well polished. It's one of the most exciting parts that I believe that we are building once we can get to this point. I would say that we're going to shoot before this, but it's going to be out by December, November, December.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to go any further than that, because we can make it happen whenever we need to. It's just we're looking at the nodes and the platforms being run. We want the tokenomics being good and on its way into everybody's wallets before we start looking at these other revenues and data processings that will be onboarding through that.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'll be cool too to see kind of how you guys utilize the token, you know, with some of those pieces as well. And I'm sure, like, yeah, after you kind of get everything polished on this side, I'm sure there's a ton of, I guess, research you guys got to do with all the states, like which states you're able to send like X amount to, I suppose. Until, you know, federally, maybe they will finally change it at some point. I won't be surprised if it gets, you know, federally gets changed sooner than later, since I mean, I don't even know how many states we're at now, but it's you know, quite large and growing, and then of course internationally as well. Now I know nothing about like growing them or anything. My question is if you found like a strain and you're like, this strain's perfect for me, like works super well, I love it, is there a way that people will be able to actually purchase like some kind of home grower box of that strain to try to grow it themselves?
100%. You're talking about like substrating to lighting to, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
100%.
Nice.
We're like I was saying before, we encompass that entire life cycle of a plant, and you know, this was part of our journey into these events as well, was talking to the people that are building soils, building nutrients. And we're looking for case studies on how they work. We're looking at the cultivators who are bringing these strains into the market, and you got to find your technique. There are organic growers out there. This is, you know, what we always recommend for anybody in the medicinal field. But there's also other ways of growing using salts and stuff like this that work well in the garden. But this is why we're attaching test results alongside of it to see what you're really looking for. And you want it to be as healthy as possible, because we are ingesting this sort of thing as well. So if you can follow along with in the knowledge hub and pair that to a genetic and a strain based on your growing environment, we'd be able to put that box together and have an all-in-one that that you can utilize that regimen and cultivate that strain.
Nice. Do you guys have any? I know. So, have most of the events you guys been going to been kind of cannabis related, or have you guys gone to some of like the crypto events as well?
Yeah, so these ones have been specifically cannabis related, and we have talked to other people that are in this cannabis related events that deal with software technology, because AI also as well. But when you're looking at these commercial cultivators, even the home grower is utilizing a like they're tracking all the temperatures and humidities, and all this is going through digital products, and there's a software behind it that tracks each one of these things. So even though we're crypto based, the technology that we're looking at utilizing for the information coming in is very important to consider, right? This is where the information is going to be coming from. because we need to utilize the technology and the companies that are out there right now that are performing and take what they have to offer and bring it to our blockchain. So that number one, um, you know, one of our largest clients are going to be in this area, right? I think that when we expand more into the blockchain events, we're going to be looking at more or less the people running the nodes and putting in more data onto it. So this is another shift that we're looking into. You know, I can't go back to back to back to back on
Right.
all these events, and we have them scheduled in, especially coming in the fall time. We have another event coming up in September, which is in Slovenia, which is the science and technology hub of cannabis of all of Europe. We'll be the sole sponsor of the after party there. We're going to be all over this event, um, very largely highlighted there. We have an exhibit as well. And so this will be a huge exposure for us. If you check out this ICBC, the International Cannabis Business Conferences, they are some of the is one of the largest events companies in the entire world. So to be showcased and as a sole sponsor at the Science and Technology Conference is a very huge deal, and we're very grateful to be there. And this will be a really good event for us in the cannabis industry as well as for showcasing blockchain.
Nice. Man, I'm super pumped for you guys. You guys have been doing a lot of work, you know, and getting out there, getting the word out and everything as well. You guys are definitely a sleeper. I think this token's going to be a sleeper as well. You know, with everything you're talking about, trying to have, you know, this is like the currency for it all, you know, because like you said, you know, across, you know, all the nations, all the different currencies, it definitely becomes a huge pain after a while, which of course blockchain and crypto, you know, can solve all those issues for sure.
Right. Who wants to
Nice.
wait?
Yeah, right.
Make it instant.
That's right. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Any other kind of big things that we haven't touched on yet?
Yeah, I have a
I
news
think
about update we're doing with our tokenomics. So I can share my screen, show you something, and I believe everyone will be happy because we're just improving our tokenomics for better.
Nice.
And definitely everyone who already have a node will be, I believe he will be happy and satisfied with this change. So let me just share a screen.
Yeah, I'll be able to compare it too. I actually have the old tokenomics set up over here to the right side. So
lawyer Wookiee's on the case.
Yeah.
look at that infinity.
Can you see it, guys? You can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just imported the issuance of our OG token and put it more in a like a chart. So the biggest change you can see is that we're getting rid of the halvings, which we believe it was a good setup for the beginning to get an idea where we're heading, but right now we're polishing the tokenomics and the distribution. So if we can start basically, okay, let me just okay. This is a equation for the curve we will be following during the daily token distribution, and everything is basically the same. We just get rid of the halving, and we have this clean curve during the 10 years. This distribution would be followed if there will be zero burning. So basically, with introducing the burning system, we trying to achieve that the market over the many years will find some balance within within itself, and then we wouldn't end up in a situation where the market can end up on a point where we would be switching between one halving and before halving, and we'd be just switching left right, and for example it would be very strange if the node operators would be getting for 1 week this amount of token, next week like a half of it. So there is no chance this happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as you can see, the highest number of issued tokens are at the day one, and then every other day it's getting lower. So basically, everyone who is in MetaFlora node network from day one will be getting the most tokens. it's like this is the first day, then second, third, and so on. And during this setup, there is one point in time when we designed that in exactly 2 years, it will be half of the token being distributed. So if we will go like here lower on a
And the burning and everything is similar to Gala, right? Where it's like a like burn remint kind of ability. Okay, cool.
yeah, there will like a burning. We will introduce it in marketplace, but we will not really want to talk much about burning. We need to design this system during the development of the
But of
ecosystem.
course we have to have burning. I mean, it's cannabis, so we got to have a little bit of fire here and there, right?
Smoke to burn. And yeah, there are two more charts I designed so far. Cumulative token issuance, that's basically the opposite of this, but in a term of how many tokens being issued. So again, 50% during the first 2 years and then the rest over the time. And this is just, I just quickly put this together. So guys, this is just to take a look, but this will not be in a documentation. We will update the tokenomics document during this week, but just to see how it's basically the categories of allocation, like a team, the marketing, the nodes, the genetics, lineage rewards, on-chain asset rewards, and so on. So um, everything is regressive according to like this equation.
Yeah,
And
and how many nodes currently have we sold?
how many nodes do we have? Over 100, and
So
I'm not sure.
those early buyers are gonna have a large amount of OG tokens
Yeah,
early on.
we wanna start up like a bigger marketing campaigns
Yeah,
before our network will go live, and also we believe that we can attract some VCs with VC strategy we're just putting together. So we plan to attract VC investors, VC companies for the tokenomic setup together with the team and building of a project. So that can be attractive, especially because if you will take a look on a tokenomics and you would play a little bit with your calculator, you would find out that if you would be early node buyer and you would you would wish to accumulate a lot of rewards, then it make a lot of sense to have as much nodes as possible during the first 1, 2, 3, 4 months, because then over those months there is a chance that the more nodes will be sell, right?
right.
That just making that the daily token issuance, which is the biggest, the sooner it is, then over time is divided by more nodes, so it's getting like a drastically like a lower per
Right.
per per, per node.
Yeah,
So
all the early buyers are going to get quite rewarded, for
exactly,
sure. I mean,
if you pay for like a 1 or 2 months after the node start, it will be very nice if you are like a
absolutely. It's
node.
kind of like with the early Gala founder nodes that were in here. You know, a lot of those people they were kicking themselves because they were selling massive amounts for Gala for such a tiny sum. You know, before all those numbers got lower and then the value, of course, went up. Um, a couple of things from the chat. One person had mentioned or said that they're in Spain, and it sounds similar to what they're trying to build like an HQ there as well. They were asking if you know anything about Spain in general, or if there's any specific changes in. Sorry, Google Meet apparently only gives you an hour. We have 15 minutes before this will cut off. But he was asking if you know anything about Spain specifically.
I do. I'm living in Europe at the moment here. I have friends that live in Spain. So I have connects that have facilities out there as well. And also, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you want to know about it, but I'm definitely well involved with the people that are living there that have businesses. Really great connections of really good people, and I've heard that Spain is the new hub of of Europe right now as the largest emerging force of cannabis on this side of the world, and they're going to give they're going to be up there with the California standards as far as quality is and innovation is going to be taking off at.
Nice. And I'd say too, that this is crypto. We have tons of communities. Jump on the MetaFlora Discord. Feel free to ask crypto, any of these questions. I mean, it's everything is about meeting people, creating partnerships, talking. Let the conversation flow. I mean, you're not going to lose anything by coming in, chatting, making some comments. Whoever commented too that you're in Slovenia, same thing. Jump in the Discord. Ask where they're going to be. Trying to have this, get together and stuff too, be able to come out. I think it's awesome. Getting to meet folks. I got to go down to Austin, before the Miranda's team, sadly, all got adjusted, but I met a lot of community members down there, and it's super great to be able to, meet folks and collaborate,
Adjusted's a good word. I like that.
Adjusted. It hurt me. I'll say that,
I think it hurt us all.
Because I'm pretty sure they knew they were going to do that, and then they still let us, do a community kind of get together down there. Now the team didn't, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nice. So, yeah. Any other kind of big aspects we haven't really jumped through? You just covered all the tokenomics stuff.
I suppose I can screen share this analytics page, because I'm currently tracking strains. Let me get this up here. So I'm currently tracking strain views, so we can see what's the most popularly visited lab report and things like that. And then I also have this AI that went through all of the data that we have and created like metric points based on the data. So I actually I haven't made anything but this. This is the only manual piece, which is the strain page visits. Obviously, this is undesigned, not flattering. I didn't want to show this today, but but it's something to show. So we got some analytics. We're gonna have like a leaderboards where you can see, what certain strains are affected towards, and how effective they are based on the reviews. So if there's like conflicting reviews of if let's see, let's scroll. Let's see if we get past the effects. Yeah.
No, it's really cool being able to see kind of, which ones are being rated, so highly for certain effects, certain aspects.
Yeah. And then it ranks them. So obviously if there's only, I think the bottom's probably the least common diseases. Yeah. So least common diseases. So these are going to show some that are just extra 0%. They'll just like throw those onto the end.
Right.
But it's pretty interesting to see what AI came up with based on the data that we have, and I'm excited. Once we have more data, it's going to be even more interesting.
That's super cool. No, I'm super impressed with everything you guys have already done in the background. I'm definitely excited to see what all rolls out here. How long is the HQ stuff gonna take? Probably quite a bit of time, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, sure, but we're looking at phased openings, right? We'll build it and then build it and build it.
Okay,
build
gotcha.
And so yeah, we'll just we'll open it up as we go along, right? There's a lot of things that require less infrastructure, and some of the things are going to require more infrastructure. To be honest with you, the largest hurdle is always going to be like legislating and permitting and licensing.
Right.
And that part actually got taken care of really easily. And so the next section of it will be, pretty much building everything out. We're like, all the hard part is in the past, and now we're looking at the next hard part, which is like actually building this place into what it can be.
That's
right?
the fun stuff. That's the fun part.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm enjoying myself over here.
Like saddled up and things like this. So yeah, what we're looking at doing is moving that next branch over and getting to expansion.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. Las Vegas Lance asked if there's any special deals for listing today. I mean, I think my link is in the description, and I think that was a 5% discount, but you guys can take that away as well or discuss.
Yeah, we can do something.
No, I think that's good. Yeah, maybe. maybe yeah. I think 5% is that's your rate for your discount. So
Yeah, right.
that's
Okay, that's what I thought it was. And then Lorby had asked what the benefit was from owning a connoisseur node if you're only a home grower.
Well, you'll still be able to bring on your information to the database, but you're going to be and there'll be emissions through our tokenomics through this. But if you want all the tokenomics coming through on the daily of the entire ecosystem, then you're going to be wanting the home grow as well.
Nice.
and you'll have tags. So like if you submit a report as a home grower with like a personal personal lab report tester, there'll be a tag on your report submission saying that you're a home grower. You're not necessarily like a full lab or full, not doing active case studies and whatnot. You can be a casual grower and still participate.
Nice. Cool.
Right.
Well, yeah, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on, talking about MetaFlora, showing us the updates. Really excited to just see everything continue to roll out. But I'm telling you, everything else is looking great already. I love what I'm hearing you guys are doing, and it's great to know you guys are doing so much tremendous work in the background here. So
Yeah, this is only the beginning. The foundation is being set, and now it's time to really rock and roll.
yeah,
Thanks.
nice. Yeah,
I'm guessing we're coming out with those mushrooms soon, right?
Hey, that's up to you. Give me those reports. Give me them reports, boy.
I know I need to be looking up some of that stuff, but yeah, I think I think tremendously once you guys get this built set, I think there's even more stuff you guys can do if you so desired. So cool.
Yeah, we're very stoked to be able to unveil this really soon here on the live page. Dr. Wookiee, you're really going to appreciate being able to search for different ailments or these diseases and stuff like this. Really pinpoint these data points into what we all need in our daily health. And
we're gonna need everyone's help to test. We're gonna need everyone's help to test. So keep your eye out for that link because you'll be getting it pretty soon here.
Nice.
And like Dr. Wookiee said, hop in that Discord. We're all in there. And we're very attentive. We're always answering questions. And yeah, feel free. Anything you guys need, anything you want, go in there and let's build this thing together. That's the other thing I want to really say too. Like from the headquarters down to our database, what type of AI needs to get built out. It literally this is the beauty and power of Web3. And we all need to do this together, and we can't wait to hear all your responses in our Discord.
Nice.
Yeah, I would like to add one more thing, guys. If you know anyone who can be interested in MetaFlora, like someone who have its own production or reseller of cannabis things, whatever, let them know about us. Maybe they would like to join with us. We already have a few people who are interested, and they're just looking for if they can some sort of partnership with us. The latest guy was telling us that he have some THC gummies and chocolate selling, so that can be really cool partner for our marketplace. And we're searching for these people within our community before we start making some broader campaigns. But right now, like your friends may have opportunity to join with us directly instead of later on through some broader campaigns.
Yeah, our marketplace is going to be so sick.
Nice.
Bring everybody in.
Yeah, so if you guys want to know more about MetaFlora, you can check out the FAQ section in our Discord, and we also have some very detailed documentation that we have Mike here that wrote everything masterfully. And also our articles, you can check them on X or on Medium. You will be really informed about what's going on. And also there's another one coming about AI, so stay tuned.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again. As always, stay hungry, Wookiees.